You're right, this is a new project I'm starting, but I just want to show you my new portfolio layout site. It's pretty cool, it's pretty clean, minimalist. It's actually designed by a guy called Steve Anderson. Highlight that, yeah, you get the idea. But yeah, my old sort of portfolio site was sort of very small and quite claustrophobic in a sense, but this one's like sort of big. It's designed for the bigger resolutions in monitors and stuff, but I've only got these grab on here so far. This is what the actual projects page looks like. I've got the fly through video you can watch here, which is pretty cool, just to get an idea of what this creature looks like and stuff. I've got some pop-up pictures which go bigger when you click them, just to better have a view at things, a bit of description about what it is and how it became to be, technical skills, what it's to do, and a client testimonial if it applies, but this is just me messing around. Demo reel, which admittedly is really old and outdated. Yeah, I need to do a new one, but firstly I need to populate this portfolio section. Probably going to do about 5 characters. I think it's enough. Got my resume there. My resume, sorry. I can't speak the English language sometimes. But yeah, I've got my skill set, which are what programs I use and what I use them for. My education and my experience, which is nil point. I'm also going to put, in the later future, titles that I worked on. Get the box artwork there, and a little bit of information about what I did, what my role was. Seems to be a common thing about most resumes on video game art, so yeah. And last but not least, the contact form. People can get in touch if they want to do some sort of freelance work, which is pretty cool. That's pretty much it. Yeah, the address is liamshaw3d.com if you want to have a look. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to start this new project, which is going to be my interpretation of Granbull, which is a Pokemon. I said I might do a Pokemon, and I am. I did that like a Marowak sculpt earlier on. Well, about, I don't know, it must have been like 3 months ago or something. So it was more than that. It was quite like last year. So either way, I sculpted a Pokemon, and it turned out okay. Is it something I was like particularly proud of now? It's a bit, my skills have come on a bit better. So I'm doing this new version, which I've forgotten where I saved the drawing that I did. I don't know if it's in here or not. Yeah, there we go. Granbull, here we go. This is my sketch. It's a bit bright. Just going to edit this a sec. I'm going to make a new folder as well. Sorry, wasting your time. Just wait for Photoshop. See if it's on my open recent. No, it's all the UDK stuff, so I have to find that. Which is in here. Game res test Granbull. It was just like a bit distracted in Zbrush, I don't want it to be. I want to be able to see it, but it's like in the background, so it's not like interfering with while I'm sculpting and stuff. So that'll do. Back into Zbrush, and I'm just gonna go to that new folder, Granbull, and yeah. Alright, let's get started on this thing. Grab myself a sphere, make it 3D. Let's get the floor. I'm just gonna, have I got, yeah, symmetry is on. Now I'm not sure like what sort of body type this thing's gonna be yet. You know, like the actual Pokemon version of Granbull has got quite a bit of a pot belly going on and stuff. So I don't know how much I am gonna change this. Let's get my geometry tab open for when I want to Dynamesh this. So I always start primarily with Dynamesh, as it's like beyond useful. Let me just figure this out a little bit. The thing about Granbull is that it has such a big head. So I want to try and add some sort of realism to it. Well, not realism, but you know, my usual you know, that usual sort of detail I usually get out of my characters. You know, it's all skinned up and it has all the gruesome elements to it. Just thinking about, you know, this edge of his jaw here and where that needs to be. Because, you know, it's pretty hard to figure out what a Pokemon is, you know, from the drawings, unlike the trading cards and stuff. So it's gonna be quite a lot playing around for this guy. I know he's based on some sort of bulldog or like terrier or something like that. I mean, at the minute it looks like nothing, but usually that is the case when you're working like in the early stages of a model. But you know, never be afraid of failure, you know? It's kind of like my main motto now. You will fail every now and again. You'll make something like this is ridiculous and you know, you just got completely caught up in the process and stuff. And that's cool, that's fine, you know. I mean, this model I'm doing now might turn out to be ridiculously awful and make no sense whatsoever. And I'm cool with that, you know. So I don't take risks, and if I don't explore my boundaries as a sculptor, I'll never improve. Starting to look a bit more like Granbull now. Get his fangs in. I want to keep that sort of nose shape that he has. Looks a bit like a pig at the minute. It's kind of humanoid a little bit, which is cool. Let's pull out these brows to get some reference on how I can make these brows look really punchy and stuff. Some sort of temple. But I had the idea of giving him really deep sort of eye sockets. Then we'll have some sort of like zombie-like eyeball in there. You know, it's just like, I don't know, like it's just, I don't know. It's not gonna be really realistic. This character, it's gonna be pretty strange, but you know, it's gonna sort of be just kind of fun, you know, pretty loose. It being a Pokemon and all. But all I'm using here is just the typical clay tubes, clay builder brush to really, you know, make these big form changes effortlessly. And now I'm assuming that this jaw needs to kind of overlap a bit more for those huge spikes to come out. It looks as if that bit sort of sticks out a little bit. Give it some sort of Adam's apple or something. I'm just going to use a snake hook to pull out some of those awesome spikes. Then re-dynamesh that and come in with the inflate brush, not the hand inflate, just to really get some mass back into that area. Yeah, that's cool. And just going to switch to my transpose tool. And I'm going to try and get a decent selection on here. That's a bit. That looks alright. That'll do. And I'm going to pull out. You know, just trying to match what I have. Yeah, that's cool. And on my sketch, I sort of have this, it kind of looks like these spikes are sort of enveloped in the flesh a little bit. You know, like it's really sort of dug in. And all this flesh is just like flowing around it as if it was water. Just going to try to get going a little bit. Kind of give him that Judge Dredd kind of feel. It's pretty decent so far. I'm just going to pull out the ear flaps that he has. This is going to be quite strange to see how this is going to work. So I plan on sort of tapering them off a little bit, you know, like it starts off quite thick around here, and then towards the end of the ear where it gets uber thin. I just feel that it'd work a little bit, and it's just being like a piece of paper hanging out of his head. Just going to inverse that, and then I'm just going to use my transpose tool to just point it in the direction I want it to be, really, and just hold down Shift whilst I'm in the move. Oh shit. Redirect that. Oh, I'm just going to pull it out. Whilst I'm holding Shift, it sort of like extrudes it out in quite a nice sort of fashion. But that'll do. That's about what I need. And I'm just going to start to play around a tiny little bit. Won't be able to do much with that. I'm just going to dynamesh it. Need to sort of make it more flared. Give it that kind of feel. Bunch it up a little bit. Yeah, the ears are always going to be a bit interesting on this model. Them being so flappy and stuff. But that'll do, just for this little rough block. And I'm not refining much right now. And I'm going to pull out his arms. In fact, I know there's a tool that uses this may go catastrophically wrong. Let me try that. But you can just sort of like insert. Not quite sure how it works. Don't have to get rid of that now. Is that like right. So that is something I've seen on YouTube and stuff. I mean, his arms need to be quite bulky, as he's like a bulldog character. Yeah, that's a bit better. I'm just going to go for that standard Granbull kind of look. Alright, let me just... use it transpose. And I'm going to bend him. Right. Yeah, that's nice. Gets them in there. In relation to his legs, I really need to sort of squeeze his bottom bit in, so his legs are going to attach onto there. Because I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this body area here. Maybe I should make him, you know, just more muscly and stuff. Get that tail out. Nah, don't want to give him a hunchback. Quite like this sort of spike that's coming out. Yeah, probably going to do something with that. But in terms of his legs, I'm going to assume that would come up a little bit. Because I wasn't particularly happy with you know, what I was getting on the sketch. I'm just gonna sort of mask out this area here, and I'm just gonna literally like use my move tool just to pull out. You see, I've always found this is quite a nice technique. Just, you know, masking areas off and using move and stuff. And I can really, you know, because it's isolated, I can just sort of play around with the shape a little bit. And it's got that, you know, nice, what I want it to be and stuff like that. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to animate this thing if I ever do get around to doing that in UDK, which would be really awesome if I could learn myself. That'll do. I'm just gonna update that, and then let me get that. It seems to take on the. We'll give him a little bit, and then give him like a. Let me just update that. Should have probably looked about that. It's proper like. Let me just inflate that a little bit. I should have looked at that from the front view just to see how it was looking like. It's a bit weird at the minute. I think that looks okay. Let me just going to use that again just to pull out some foot. That's not really words. I've never used this tool before, so it's all new to me. Can you use a rotate tool on that? No, I suppose I can use transpose. Get some sort of foot shape out of this. Yeah, that'll do for the dinos. And I can just come in and smooth this out. Build up this foot a little bit. Give him some sort of kneecap. Push that around. Probably should. Yeah, it looks a little bit nicer. So I said in my sculpt that it was going to have like that major muscle in the knee, or the leg, sorry, that sort of comes through. Then the supporting muscles that connect to the knee. And I'm not quite sure what to do with this bit. Maybe I should just kind of make it up. Don't really have enough res to be playing around with his legs too much. Now that looks a bit ridiculous. It looks too fat. I should probably... It's turning into the Marowak a little bit, you know, the legs that I gave that guy. Got quite a bit of work to do on this to make it look right. Looks a bit daft at the minute. It always was going to be difficult to sort of initialize this project, you know. Once I've figured out all the major landmarks and stuff like that, it should be a piece of cake. Just gonna pull out some fingers real quick. I just need to shape this arm a little bit so it's not like a, crazy tube style stuff. Just trying to figure out his anatomy a little bit. Start to flesh it in, because he's got kind of a bit of, quite a lot of weight to him, being a bulldog and all. He's gonna have those really dominating biceps. The beginnings of a tricep, and get those under forearm muscles in. It's all like really rough in a minute, so I'm not worrying too much about all the specific forms and stuff. Get like a sort of crease. Just to pull out these fingers, I'm just going to use the transpose just to really roughly get something. I'm going to turn up my Dynamesh a little bit as well so it doesn't go all crazy. It might do, it might not, but if I've got enough res, yeah, that's good enough. Separate these out. These are going to look a bit crazy until I work on them. That's pretty much blocked in. His head seems... head seems a bit too big. Maybe his body just isn't, quite... Yeah, that's helped. That didn't. I like this stage though. You're just like really fleshing it all in and stuff. It's pretty cool. elbow is radical. Okay. I think I'm actually gonna twist. It's not gonna look pretty at this stage, but just give me a bit of forearm twist in there. So he's not, you know. It's the legs that need sorting, and this lower body. Yeah, this is something not nice about it, you know. I think his pecs are a bit too high as well. Got to be careful about shoulders too, because if you make them too big, when you bend his arms down, they look ridiculous. I found this is like this huge bulge on his back, on his, you know, side of his arm. This doesn't look right. So when you're doing shoulders, just be a bit wary about that. Not quite sure what this bit is yet. Right. His legs are going to be weird. I think it's like because they're too wide. Or it's like they're not long enough. They look really weird from the side as well. Like, if you look at a cat's leg, it has that round sort of disc and then it like sits like that. Because this is standing. I don't know. Don't know if his arms are too small as well. Let me just sort of block out something a little bit. Auto masking. Yeah, it was just pulling through underneath a little bit. I should just probably try and work out the mass of it first. So at the minute I'm trying to think about muscle groups. So it looks really weird. This can be one of those areas that takes a while to figure out. Looks like two. It's the way the lines. I think the thing that's gone on here is that I made it look too humanoid. Like this bit here should still all the way be up in there. You know what I mean? Behind. Let me just re-dynamesh that. This turned out pretty weird. Didn't know it was hollow in there. I was going to turn back face up, but it should be okay. And then pull that out. It's looking a bit better. It's looking like it's representing the concept a lot more accurately anyway, which is good. I don't know, it's like before I was just building like human legs or something. Sometimes that happens to me, that I just start to totally build something that's really odd and nothing how it's supposed to be. But it's looking a bit better. Still looks dodgy for some reason. Just gonna have to analyze it and figure out what's wrong. Thinking about these pecs now, whether or not you should have that sort of cage. I usually give most things. just where the six-pack sort of begins, you know, you come down there and stuff. Looks a bit weird because his legs start like right next to it, so I'm going to leave that out for this guy. Turn off back face now, I'm not using it for anything. Just thinking about the muscles now. My phone just beeped. The only problem with this is that I have a very limited amount of movement, you know, in his legs, in terms of animating him and stuff. So, you know, because they're so like tightly attached to the bottom sort of area there, you know, like for twisting it around and stuff. Yeah, it would all work underneath his skin. It's just pretty difficult to do, really, when you're modelling for games and shit. I'm just thinking about, you know, his foot as well. It just looks a bit weird. The reason I did that is because I was watching my cat earlier on, and a lot of the time they take the pressure off their little feet, you know, on the sort of those like pads they've got underneath their paws, and a lot of the time they have their heel raised in the air a little bit. But I don't know if I should just plant it or like move that back. I'll see what it looks like if I move this bit back. It looks like he's leaning forward like crazy. Alright. I think what I'm going to do is let's get my lasso tool on, and I'm just going to come in here and move this. Oh crap, I just updated my data mesh. Undo that. Move that a little bit. Yeah, that looks a bit better. He's starting to take some shape now. His body's looking, it's a bit weird though, it's a bit hourglassy. I'm just not sure what I should be pulling out, you know. Maybe pull out that chest area a little bit. always constantly look at your model like in different angles and stuff, because sometimes when you're sculpting it can leave it warped in certain specific angles. It looks really dodgy sometimes, so. But it also does fix a lot of like silhouette problems and stuff. Yeah, it still doesn't look like it's got a good centre of gravity yet. Which is problematic. Pull up that knee a little bit. Knees are a bit of a problem as well sometimes, because you try and make them look like knees, and because they move so much when you move like your legs and stuff. I don't know whether I should like pop it out or leave it in. Legs need quite a lot of work. Let me just update that, it's a bit messy in there. It's a bit better. So I wanted his legs to be kind of chunky, just to carry on the theme of him being like, a bit of a butch kind of character. But I don't want him to look like they're not functional. Yeah, I won't be giving him a dick or anything. It's just unnecessary. I think the problem of it is that, I don't know, it's just a bit round. But yeah, again, I kind of like it. Try and bring in some sort of shin. I should probably pull out some toes as well. That's not working. Get my mask pen on. Yeah, I'm just going to use transpose again. Definitely not on that crap. In fact, I'm just going to bring out, well, at least make them more rounded. Not rounded, you know, butted up. So the feet have more like a taper, you know, the hands sort of like rounder. Alright, cool. And then I'm just going to use the transpose to inverse that first. There. Might be a bit dodgy in here. It's workable. Like all my sort of startup meshes, you know, they're all going to be retopologized and whatnot, so you know, I can be like as loose as I want, really. And I'm actually just gonna do a bit of this for this, just so I can separate these toes a bit easier. There you go. I'm not really going to do too much with these feet yet. It's, you know, the feet is quite sort of a high fidelity place to be sculpting in, and I really don't have enough res right now. I'm not sure if I should like make the head a tiny little bit smaller or something. I definitely know that I need to pull out some kind of neck. Yeah. Just for that collar that he has going on. But I'm just going to switch to scale. Yeah, that's a bit better. I don't know if it's just his jaw, it looks huge. I mean, I do want it to look big, but it's looking like something now. Just kind of flesh over a little bit. Not too sure what's going on around there. But the ears, I've got quite a cool idea for the ears. I'm just going to turn on a bit of back face. It just gets a little thin round here. But I want the ears to be kind of quite layered in a sense. You know, like they really sort of like still like, I don't know, there's bits of flesh sort of like poking out of his skull kind of feel. You know, it's pretty brutal. But it's going to take quite a lot of sculpting effort to get something like that. So I'm just going to try and thin them out a little bit towards the end now. Just literally sculpting in. This might be easy to do in Maya, you know, set up the mesh. I think I'm veering towards him being a zombie, really. It's probably what the title of it's going to be, this zombie Granbull or something. And obviously we've got to get in that funky sort of ear hole design that we had coming through. I'm literally just gonna whack in a hole like so. No, just literally making this up as I go along. If you have a pet cat, have a look inside of his ears and you will be quite astounded by how weird their ears look. I'm gonna probably go take a look at my cat's ears when I actually come around to sculpting this, as it's just insane inside of there. That'll do. Some sort of weird hole. Get some resin there. Yeah, just trying to get the idea of like the flesh being all like tight and stuff again. That's pretty much the basis of him though. Old Granbull. Just need to go to the next subdivision level now and start to refine what I've got. But you know, pretty pleased with this so far. Still very rough. There's probably going to be some major changes when you next see it, but yeah, it's a pretty decent start. Bit rough at this beginning, especially for these legs. But yeah, this is going to be the awesome version of Granbull when I'm done with it. Let's just save that now. Let me call him Granbull Rough. That's pretty much it. On. Oh, getting at the time of these videos. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.